Indians, baby. A real Indian, American Indian is me, not from Africa.
African Americans here, but they recently moved here from places like Kenya, Ethiopia, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Zaire. But now the brother whose family's lived in this country for generations, occupying space in all the locations, New York, Miami, LA, Detroit, Chicago, even if he's wearing a dashiki and sporting an afro. And if you go to Africa in search of your race, you'll find out quick, you're not an African American. You're just a black American in Africa taking up space. Why you keep trying to attach yourself to a continent where even if you got the chance to go and you went, most people that wouldn't even claim you as one of them, as a purebred daughter or son of them. Your heritage is right here now.
Yeah. Conscious. Matic. Alright, so far where I come from. I sit and wonder about the times that it made sense, but nowadays I don't worry about what's past tense. My younger days I used to hang around with mad friends. If we just fell out, I don't really know what happened. A lot of people come around and keep you stagnant, distraction. So yeah, don't show them no compassion. We was really out here grinding, really rapping, stacking them Franklins, them Grants, and them Jacksons. Imagine if we would've never chased our passion. We probably would've never knew what happened. They was all just talk, we showed action. Once they leave, don't you let them back in. Just pack up all their stuff and send them packing. I'm blacking on anybody thinking they could act up with me. This vibe ain't for free, cause where I'm at in life, I'm only focused on me. Note the self, know yourself, focus on your health. They don't wanna help, then fuck it, do it by yourself. Don't give them no excuse to put you on the shelf. If it's me, myself, and I, then it's no one else. Yeah, self-love is the best love. It's the people who always give that never get love. They ain't real enough to probably say they messed up. Just let it go and make the best of it. Yeah, self-love is the best love. It's the people who always give that never get love. They ain't real enough to probably say they messed up. Just let it go and make the best of it. Love yourself.
Yeah, practice what you preaching, but clearly they not practicing entitlement and pride. Yeah, those two things they factor in. Spiral out of control just from all the bantering. When they accustomed to talking behind your back with all that chattering. I remove myself before I abuse myself. Talk about self-love, but you gotta do it yourself. Yeah, I won't act too good for no help. We all healing now. Said some things about me that ain't true. How you feeling now? Even at my lowest, they tried to find a way to bring me down. Big y'all up for years, ain't talking just the brand or the sound. I don't throw things around, I do it from the heart proud. Mama just wanna see her sunshine, removing them dark clouds.
Yeah, self-love is the best love. It's the people who always give that never get love. They ain't real enough to probably say they messed up. Just let it go and make the best of it. Yeah, self-love is the best love. It's the people who always give that never get love. They ain't real enough to probably say they messed up. Just let it go and make the best of it. Love yourself.
Time's been moving slowly, so we already in too deep. Can't get no sleep on each other, heavy teasing all day. And when the sun sets, you asking me to come through, kick it with you. Night turn to morning through, then you let's face it, baby, you know all the places. My place is your place, my place, your place, my place. Just face it, no one knows my places like you do. Your places.
Hey y'all. Hey, salute everybody watching. Everybody on Twitter too, because I know y'all watching. Hey, y'all, what's good? I was like contemplating on if I wanted to come on live today because I was on Bat Panel, but I was already planning to come on, and I was able to take a little small nap. So salute Copper Aborigines, Lady Moon, Original Intellect, None of Your Business, and Brown Liquor No Ice, and everybody watching. And I am gonna do this segment today. What I want to talk about is how members in Congress. I keep telling y'all, I do stream to Twitter, and I'm following a lot of congressional members, and it's not necessarily them per se, but their staff that handles their um, Twitter pages, X page, whatever you want to call it. And hey, making money, and I know that they are watching us in YouTube. I know it. They're watching us in YouTube. They're watching us on Facebook. They're watching us on all social media websites, even the individual congressmen and congresswomen, whether they're state and local and federal congressmen and congresswomen. And for a very long time, hey, beautiful Bridget, hey, Quoa, Make Money 84, hey, y'all. And I know that they're watching us. And there's always been a tug of war and gaining and trying to understand the urban Indians, aka us, the urban inner city Indians. A lot of them don't have experience with dealing with a very offensive community. And that would be us because we've been so harmed by politics, by laws, by their laws. And they never really get a real understanding of our behaviors. And oftentimes, people who look like us, who live a middle class lifestyle, what I would call a middle class lifestyle, that are politicians that look like us, they try to teach them. They do. And they try to work with them to get them to understand us as a people. See, as Aboriginal Indians, our behaviors have always been judged, very judged. We are very judged as a people, only because they don't understand us. So what we are accustomed to on how we communicate and deal with each other and vibe with each other, it's offensive to them. It's offensive to them because they don't understand it. So they make assumptions and they deem our behavior offensive. So now what they're learning is that it's not so offensive because I'm from the hood. Oh, excuse me. I'm definitely from the hood. Straight like that. Okay. And coming up in the hood as a kid, we would rank on each other, literally. And that's like an initiation process. If you can come through the hood being ranked on, as a kid, then you pass the test. You straight from the hood. We rank on each other. And they don't like it. Like I could take hits and licks. That's something you can do in the hood, but it was always in fun. We would literally have instances where we would all be in a circle or just in our community, and two people would have a ranking contest, and they would rank on each other, talk about each other's mother, clothes, whatever. I mean, the funniest thing was your mother's underwears are so big that she used them as curtains in the bathroom, and she would say, put my underwear back up, and other people would think that they're curtains because they're so big. Granny had big panties, and they don't understand our behaviors and how we relate with each other. So in order to practice multicultural behaviors, they preach about it, stating that we have to be multicultural if we're in Congress, and we have to understand people. And one of the ways of doing it is acting it out. And it literally is funny. It literally is funny when it's done. And it just lets me know that they are listening to us. If they're acting like us in social media, they are listening to us no matter what channel it is. They could be watching my channel, which I know a lot of them do, because I would, like I said, was very politically active, but I'm no longer that anymore. When my former governor left office, I just got out of the whole thing and sat back and just respect any government that takes over. It is what it is. To be very honest with you, I don't know a lot about our current governor. I never read any history on him or anything. And I have nothing bad or negative to say about him. I just am literally, once I was out, and I'm done. So what I want to do is show a segment of literally what I mean, behavior in Congress. And some of you probably seen this video, and this is fair use. I'm going to share, the behavior of Representative Jasmine Crockett of Texas and Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia. And I thought it was just hilarious. I thought the chair of the committee was hilarious. Here's a white man, typical. And it's not something they're accustomed to doing in the eyes of the public. Okay. But I thought it was well planned and it was well acted out, because this just don't happen in Congress. And it's okay. I thought it was funny, but it is a way to gain the attention of our people. And I actually thought it was cute, to be honest, because I know they planned this out. This just don't happen like this. So, and a white girl actually started the fight, a white Marjorie. It was just funny. I thought it was hilarious. If I was sitting there, I'd have been cracking up. But let's listen to it. Fair use. Make sure I got the volume up. So here we go. Fair use.
I don't think you know what you're here for.
Well, you the one talking about.
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No, ain't nothing.
Hold on.
So she's talking about her fake eyelashes. She's talking about the black girls' fake eyelashes. I'm using modern day languages. Here we go.
Do you know what we're here for? We're here about.
I don't think you know what you're here for.
Well, you the one talking about.
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No, ain't nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
Order.
Mr. Chairman,
That's beneath
would
even
you please regain order of your committee?
Order.
I would like to move to take down Ms. Green's words. That is absolutely unacceptable. How dare you attack the physical appearance of another person?
Are your feelings hurt?
Her words down.
Oh,
girl, baby girl.
oh, really?
Don't even play,
Baby girl? I don't think
we are gonna move and we're gonna take your words down.
I second that motion.
You agree to strike your words?
Yeah.
Let's run that again, y'all. Let's run that again. Y'all hit that like button. Let's run that again. So Miss Marjorie Greene told Miss Crockett that Miss Crockett asked Marjorie Greene if she know why she's here. And so Marjorie Greene said, I think it's your fake eyelashes. And so the other girl who jumped in and says, no, I want to move that because you disrespect. Just listen to it, y'all. I thought it was hilarious. Just listen to it.
Do you know what we're here for? We're here about.
I don't think you know what you're here for.
Well, you the one talking about.
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No, ain't nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
Order.
Mr. Chairman,
That's beneath
would
even
you please regain order of your committee?
Order.
I would like to move to take down Ms. Green's words. That is absolutely unacceptable. How dare you attack the physical appearance of another person?
Are your feelings hurt?
Her words down.
Oh,
girl, baby girl.
oh, really?
Don't even play,
Baby girl? I don't think
we are gonna move and we're gonna take your words down.
I second that motion.
You agree to strike your words?
Yeah. I'll
Okay.
agree.
Miss Green agrees to strike her words.
I believe she
Chair
should
recognizes
apologize. No,
Mr.
she
Perry.
should
Okay,
apologize.
hold on. Then after Mr. Perry's going to be recognized, then Ms. Green
I'm not
has 4 minutes and
apologizing.
21
Well,
seconds.
then
Okay,
you're not
reserve the right to
striking your
object.
words.
I am
Mr.
not
Perry.
apologizing.
Now let's go. Come on, guys.
Why don't you debate me?
Mr. Chairman,
Look at the
the
chairman.
minority.
Pretty
No,
self-evident.
You're not.
Yeah, you're
out
not.
of order.
You don't have enough
You're out of order.
intelligence.
Chair recognizes Mr. Perry.
Okay, move to strike
I'd
the.
like to
I
strike
move to
those
strike the
words
lady's
as well.
I move to
I would
strike-
like
Order.
to strike
the
those
lady's
as well.
words again.
That's 2 requests to strike. That's 2 requests to strike.
Oh, they cannot take the
There's
words.
another motion to strike her words again. Please
All right.
get
Okay.
your members under
Here's the
control.
correct apology. Ms. Green, do you ask unanimous? Do you agree to unanimous consent to strike your words?
I repeat again for the second time. Yes, I'll strike
right.
my words,
That-
but I'm not
all right.
apologizing.
Without objection.
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling. If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
Chairman, I make a motion to strike those words.
I don't think that's a
Hold on.
I'm
parliament.
trying to find clarification on what quality.
Chairman, motion to
I had
strike
no
those
idea
words.
what you just
Look at
said.
the chairman.
We're not gonna do this. Look, you guys earlier literally just said
You
yes.
just voted to do
Y'all did
it.
it first, so you
You
don't want to
just
talk about
voted
it.
to do it.
Order.
I'm trying to get
Okay.
clarification.
Look at calm down. Calm
No,
down.
no, because this
I
is
would
what
like
y'all
to get through
do.
proceedings.
So I'm trying
Hey,
to get
Miss
clarification.
Crockett, you're not
Y'all wanna
recognized.
play
Miss
games,
I can't hear
Crockett.
you with your
and you
yelling.
don't want me
Calm
to be-
down.
No, don't
down.
tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all talk
Calm
noise,
down.
and then you
You're
can't
out of
take it.
control.
Because if I
Look,
come,
Chairman,
if I
can
come
we
and
send
talk
outside to
shit
take a
about
break
her,
for 5
y'all
minutes?
gonna have a
Mr.
problem.
Chairman, Mr.
Order.
Chairman.
From Texas for 5 minutes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair, and
So
the
then-
vigorous back and forth.
That's hilarious. So then we go into her. I just want to get Jasmine Crockett's story. Let's share this one. This is hilarious. It's completely hilarious, y'all. So let's just see what her interview was about.
A lot of people were like, oh my God, this back and forth kind of made the U.S. look a little bit bad. Gonna put it out there. How do you feel about that statement?
First of all, it's a false equivalency. Number one, she had multiple opportunities. Number one, she could have just not said it because it's against the rules, but she decided to do so anyway. Second of all, they said, hey, either you be kicked out or you apologize. Well, she decided she wasn't going to apologize, and the chairman then decided he also wasn't going to kick her out. And so I made sure that I still stayed within the rules. I did not say anything directly to her, and I posed a question. I didn't even use her name. I didn't even use her state. Now, a hit dog hollered, but
Hit
I
dog
didn't do
hollered.
any of those things. And it was really more so to ask the question of our chairman, what type of hearings are you going to conduct? What type of precedents are you allowing to be made? And what are the parameters going to be going forward? I don't think that Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to change who she is, because
I was going to say, has she learned her lesson? Has she learned her lesson?
No, not her. But the chairman may decide that it's not worthwhile to deal with all this heat, and instead he may decide that he's going to control her when at least she's in his committee.
You had this epic line now. I heard that there are t-shirts. Are those your t-shirts or like did somebody else come in?
No, those are other people that are doing shirts. So we are doing shirts as
okay,
well.
with the same slogan or?
Yes, because it's mine.
And you have trademarked it.
I have not trademarked it. We've submitted for a trademark for it.
Okay,
because
good.
we want to make sure that something good comes out of this.
So what do you say to the bootleggers?
Stop.
Okay.
Or if you're not stopping, even though we do have a trademark pending, so you may end up getting a cease and desist. If you're not going to stop, at least take the proceeds and actually send it to candidates. This is all about making sure that we can return the House to some semblance of normalcy, and we can actually do the work of the people. So stop trying to fill your pockets and help out other candidates that are running for office.
So I thought that was pretty hilarious, okay? Because if you really think about it, I mean, they didn't go over the wire like we normally do in social media per se, but it didn't break out into a real heated fight, but there was cursing, and it did attract society's attention to the point where they're now making t-shirts with slogans, and she used the terminology, I wasn't talking to her, but hit dogs holler, and so they are watching us. And I, give them a kudos, and a thumbs up, because it's their way of engaging with us, making an attempt to engage with us. And the chairman is in on it. Everybody is in on it. Everybody is in on this. Believe me. But I just thought the look on the chairman's face was priceless, because he's like, hey, it's just so funny. I just thought it was hilarious. Willie brought that to my attention, and I just laughed so hard. So I hope these uptight, corporate people would freaking loosen up. Okay. This is why so many people have like bad relationships or uneasy relationships with their own children, because their own children are like, well, damn, can't you loosen up and be a cool mom or cool dad? They're only playing. Okay. And I just thought I thought it was absolutely hilarious. I thought the chairman banging his stick for them to be cool and stuff. We don't have sticks that on YouTube, but like Cuddy has like those funny sounds that he makes on YouTube, and it's funny, and Bap has his funny things, sounds, and so I give them kudos for at least attempting to be funny to us, or showing our behaviors. But that's, in that setting, in that environment, it's supposed to be professional, and and the other girlfriend, honey girl, I just thought it was all funny. And the girl, the lady Marjorie, the white lady, I don't, her state is Georgia. She's funny as hell. She said, I'm not apologizing. I was dying when she said, I'll remove it from the record, but I'm not apologizing. I just thought that was hilarious. And that's what for them to do that and allow that to happen live, I give them a kudos. I think she is I think all of them are down to earth people. I could tell just by their energy that they're really down to earth people. The cheer, everybody. And it was just funny. And I thought it was cute. I really do. So kudos to them. But hey, Rodney. Hey, Bronx Flat Flower. Hey, y'all. And I didn't plan to be hey, girly. I wish I want to learn. I'm going to sit back and try and learn how to do shorts, because I need to get them out there. I do want to do them. So I'm going to Google and watch some online Google. I'm going to Google and look in YouTube on how to make these shorts because I think I would do great making shorts. So sometime when I have some free time, I'll sit back and do it and make shorts out of some of my videos. But anyway, hey, Enots. Hey, y'all. So I want to get into, because I was on BAP earlier, and I really want to get into the importance in understanding genealogy. And we talk about this all the time. A lot of us know this, but you better believe, whether they're reconstructed records or not, that the government records on our families are important, even though they're reconstructed. Even though they're reconstructed records, they're still important because it's about your family. And I can't begin to tell you, I cannot begin to tell you that, oh, hang on, y'all. We got a visitor. Hey.
What's up?
Can
you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you real good. Your mic sounds amazing.
Okay.
I wish I could pay $20,000 for that microphone.
Nah, my mic not
great.
My mic not that much money.
You and there's another guy that has like a really great mic, Chris Cyphers. Y'all have all these.
Yeah, I have
expensive
analog
mics.
gear.
Yeah, it sounds good. How you
I
been,
appreciate that.
nephew?
I've been doing well.
That's good. How's
All is well.
Tanisha?
She's doing well. All is well.
I watched her
All is well.
upload today. She's got a really great upload out that she put out earlier today. And I had to run to Firestone to get some damn Freon in my car. But I'm gonna go back and lay down and watch. It's not that long, but she put out a good video. I started watching it. It's really good. So
Yeah, that's her part one. She's
kudos to her, man.
she's gonna
doing
follow
the
up with a
thing.
few things. A few more coming after that.
She doing the damn thing with her little pretty self. She's so tiny, Dan. I didn't realize she was so tiny.
She just
She's
short.
so short.
Everything else is proportioned. Okay.
No,
But she's
I know, but
cheerleader
I mean,
height.
she's so tiny. How tall is she?
She's 5'1".
She's
Yeah,
tiny.
she's cheerleader height.
I'm taller than her. I'm 5'2".
Yeah, my mother about 5'4". So yeah, my mother's taller than her, but she's a cheerleader. I mean, you know, her and her sisters, all of them were cheerleaders.
Yeah, I was a cheerleader all 4 years in high school. I sure was. I was gymnastics my whole life. My whole
Yeah,
life.
she
I
was
wanted
into
to go to
sports and
Olympics.
all that.
I
Very
didn't do
athletic.
sports. I didn't do sports, but I did do gymnastics. I love gymnastics. Always did. So yeah, that was my thing, gymnastics. My mom wouldn't let me go. She didn't trust.
Oh man.
She didn't trust nobody. And I can understand based on all these stories that's coming out what's happening to these young girls with their
I mean, well,
coaches.
yeah, you know, we don't see back in DC, we don't play that. If there's an issue, everybody popping out, the whole family.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna be none of that. I mean, I remember a couple times, you know, my family had to show up at my school for some, you know, situations my teachers were trying to do to me. But I'm gonna say that for a different day. But that was hilarious though, you know. Yeah, the teachers would get scared and hit the little button, security, security. Anybody that went to school with me know what I'm talking about. With
Man.
it was hilarious. The teachers were hating on me. But
Yeah,
see, I
but they
was always
liking my brothers.
I was the person that, I mean, you know, they would try to call me a troublemaker as far as the teachers are concerned, because all I'm doing is asking questions, you know. I'm just asking them questions mainly. And they just got upset because I'm acing all tests and I'm over here like, you know, I was kind of cocky, you know, just to let them know I know the answers. I know what you're giving me. You know, this is all propaganda. A lot of teachers didn't like that, you know, and then my folks will have to pop up and show these adults, hey, no, he know what he talking about. You know, you don't run
Even
my
in high
son, blah, blah,
school?
blah, blah, blah. Now, in high school, I didn't have those type of issues. In high school, like, you know, I was in the best high schools at that time. What I'm really referring to is junior high schools. Junior high schools, I was flip-flopping from different junior high schools because the teachers had issues with me. Because I had issues with them, really. But eventually, I went all the way to hell uptown and graduated from a school called Islasdale Junior High School, which is right next to Woodrow Wilson Senior High School, in which I ended up going to. At that time, those were the top schools to get into in DC. But yeah, it was only right. It was only right because I wanted some real deal. I didn't want that weak education that they were giving me. You know,
I could see you in the class, little raising your hand. Did you raise your hand every
No.
time?
No.
You didn't?
not
You
at
just
all.
splat it out?
Yeah, I definitely will state it out loud. I don't, and see, I don't like
was
that
bad-
neither. The
you was
raise my
bad in
hand thing.
school.
I don't like that.
You was bad at school?
I wouldn't consider myself bad in school. I wouldn't. I was just straight up front, no holds barred. You know, I didn't take no for an answer, and I didn't want to stop with the wait until hold your questions to the end of the lesson. I wasn't falling for that.
So your parents had to continuously go up to the school?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yep. My mother could attest to that. My grandfather, my grandmother, my uncles, my aunts, my father, everybody that came up because it's been times where, you know, the teachers didn't know how to act with the student like me. It wasn't to the point where I was being disruptive. It was more so I was kind of discrediting their teachings more so than anything. And if they felt like that, you know, Some of them were like, well, Dane, why don't you stand up and teach the class? And I said, sure. And I'll stand up and teach the class. You know, after that, I remember sometimes, you know, the teachers after a while, you know, I'm trying to remember this. One of these English teachers, I'm trying to remember her name. I believe her name was Miss White. But she told me that. Some white lady told me, well, Dane, why don't you stand up and teach the class? I said, sure. And I sure did. Everybody started clapping. That was the last time she did that. That was the last time she did. Like, I wasn't going, like, I'm afraid to talk. What makes you think I'm afraid to teach the class if I'm afraid to speak up when I'm knowing, or, you know, I'm noticing that your teacher's something that's inaccurate? I'm not the type that's going to fall for that. The propaganda and all this curriculum crap that you're giving us from these same books written by foreigners, I'm not doing it. I'm not that type of person.
One of them in every class, man. We had a Dane in every class that get up and the teacher give them the chalk, or the girls too. The teacher give them the chalk and tell them, all right, well, you go up there. And like the smartest one in the class would go up and do a division problem online. I mean, you know, basic stuff. You know, we had public education and it was very low. We were really behind suburban kids from in the hood, really. When we graduated from 12th grade, we were literally doing the work of 6th graders from the suburbs. So our 12th grade education was really 6th grade education when you compare it to the white suburban schools.
Yeah, some of them were. I remember some people were telling me in certain states that their educational system was slow.
Terrible.
It was just slow. They weren't.
It was slow. It was behind. And that's why it was so hard for so many of us to enter college and be able to just take our curriculum courses. We had to take remedial classes again in college before we could actually get to. Yeah, it was terrible.
I was in a lot of advanced placement classes. I graduated valedictorian, so it was more that was embedded in me. That's my grandmother doing that. She again, I couldn't go outside without reading a book and tell her about it. Seriously,
I'm always reading.
Seriously,
I was a straight A student all through high school, straight A's, but I had an F in citizenship. I did. I would have my mother she would just like, she couldn't understand. At one semester, they gave me a F+ in citizenship.
Damn.
But I was like, this is terrible. And do you know today, even at work, I get evaluated with that type of behavior? Like if they'll have good, very good, excellent, right?
Yeah.
They won't even put, if they want to, instead of putting like excellent, they'll put it on a line. They'll put a plus on the line up between excellent and very good.
Man, see, with my situation, like some of the teachers were jealous to the point where they'll try to fail me. And that's when my parents will step up and say something. Oh, wow. And yeah, it was like they already know. I'm the guy that did the homework. I'm the guy that read the books. I'm the guy that did the studies. I'm the guy that did I had to do everything, to be honest with you, because at that time, especially when I was in school, you know, I was up against more than just so-called needy. I was up against the whites, the Chinese was in there, Latinos was in there. We had some Ethiopians in there.
Yeah.
It was diverse when I went uptown. Very diverse when I went uptown in Georgetown. So we were competing. It was a competition. And I wanted to stay on the dean's list, per se. Like, I wanted to show up and show off. I wanted to let them know, hey, nigga, I'm here. Yep, you got a real nigga in here, too, from Southeast. I'm talking about an hour and 40-minute drive there by bus and train.
Like the school bus?
No. Ain't no school buses in D.C. We had to catch the bus in D.C. and train in D.C. I mean, it's school buses, but not for the schools I went to, nah.
Well, then, what time you had to be to school when you got there on time?
8 o'clock. I had to be there at 8 o'clock. And we ain't wearing no uniform, so on top of that, it was a fashion show. Especially Woodrow Wilson. I had to come up and I had to be I goddamn, like certain people thought I was from New York, the way I dressed. I had to come up. It was a fashion show. On top of that, you'll get clowned. You know what I'm saying? You'll be clowned for that if you come up in there with something.
You catch the bus to get to school?
I had to get up there early. Like I had to get up there. If I'm recalling correctly, I had to get up at like 5, leave out about like 6:30, 7 o'clock, something like that. And in order to catch the bus, I'm talking about the real bus, the metro bus, not the school bus. Like the school buses in DC is not for. It wasn't no school buses for our type of schools. That's for other people, like I don't want to call them slow, but they were like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Delayed.
Mentally challenged.
Right, delayed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not for us. Like that. In fact, that's how we looked at school buses. Anytime we see school buses, it's either people going like the big long school buses that's yellow. That's usually somebody going on a trip, but very rarely do you see that because you'll see the smaller size school buses. Say it again.
So the public schools in DC, they didn't have school buses?
Nah, not at all.
So
we had to catch the
kids
train and the bus.
Even in elementary school?
Even in elementary school, yeah. There wasn't no school buses.
So wait.
It wasn't no school. I'm from DC for real. I went to DC all the way from when I was born all the way up. And even in college in UDC. So ain't no school buses. Not when I was coming up.
So elementary kids, Sharice, there's the link. Elementary school kids. Let me get this right. Elementary school kids
was either getting dropped off by their parents or they were catching a bus.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, but see, keep in mind, like back then, in elementary school, you usually go into the elementary school that's closest to your house anyway.
Right.
But yeah, we were walking from home. Like I went to Orr Elementary School right down the street from my house on Minnesota Avenue. Like that's a couple blocks away from the house where I lived at. So it was once or twice, that like when the school first started, the parents would walk with you. After that, we going back and forth to school on our own, walking. Because at that time, violence, when it came to, violence was around. It's worse now, but violence was around back then. I'm not going to say it wasn't happening, but yeah, it was happening, actually. I can recall a few things that happened when I was in, but usually that was off limits. Now I know times have changed. That's the reason why I pulled my children out of there, because times have changed. I pulled them out years ago. I pulled them out of that school system years ago. But when I was in school, yeah, we were walking. We were catching the train, we catching the bus.
So like a 10-year-old would have to catch the bus and the train to school if their parent didn't walk. And it was safe to do that? Really?
I mean, it was safer back then than it is now, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even call it safe. It was still the same thing.
You talking
but it
about
wasn't
the 80s, Dane. The 80s wasn't.
No. That's. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. 80s, 90s, it doesn't matter. But it was more. I mean, I'm from there. Other people gonna be like, it's violence down the street, and be like, damn. But that's an everyday occurrence. Every 5 seconds, we hearing ambulances and police cars. Like I'm talking about some violence, like shooting. At that time, it was happening, but it wasn't like how it is now. It was more so like. I mean, damn, it was happening, but it wasn't around the elementary schools like that. Not like that. Once we came out of, like, once we graduated from Orr and everybody started going to Anacostia Senior High School, or they went to Kramer. For correction, I'm tripping. I skipped Kramer because I went to Kramer for a second too, which is the middle school that's right beside, in a way, that's right beside Anacostia Senior High School. I never went to Anacostia, but I know, I'm from that area. So I was like, damn, that's when it started getting worse. Like around my time when I was coming up, that's when things started getting worse. Once the elementary school people went to basically middle school, junior high school, that's when it started getting worse. I mean, fights galore every day. As soon as you come out of I'm talking about fights be happening at the end of school. In the middle of school, at the end of school and outside of school. Then the police officers started showing up. And it didn't happen right away. Police officers was never there until it got real worse. So people started getting killed. But at school, like that's when I was, matter of fact, when I went to Wilson, our captain of our football team, the quarterback of our football team got killed by his girlfriend's ex-boyfriend after a game. Like I was there. I was on the football team. It was just sad. It was just sad. But a whole bunch of stuff was happening. Once junior high school is when DC got worse in my eyes. Junior high school, it was horrible. You had to, and still to this day, you got to walk around strapped now.
He got murdered.
Both of them got murdered. Him and his girlfriend.
On the school ground or
at his house? At his house, right after school. He had because he was an all-star player. He was the captain of our football team, but he also played basketball. And after the basketball game, this guy, I forgot both of their names. It's been so long, but I could recall the situation. He basically followed him, and it was on camera. He basically followed him back to his house because he was with his girl, and he was dating her at the time. The guy that killed both of them, he was the ex. But he was just jealous. He was just jealous. Like I dated the captain of the cheerleading squad. Her name was Crystal, and everybody in there was jealous. Wow. Matter of fact, I had to. It was a whole. I had to do some things too in order to survive because it was crazy back then. But and that was the top school back then to go to back then, and I still had to. Me coming from Southeast, it wasn't that many of us in there. It was a bunch of Northwest, Southwest niggas. So it was crazy back then. It was real crazy. And it was a fashion show. Man. And yeah, that's when I remember that because that's when they started having, like back in junior high school, to go back a little bit, that's when schools started having metal detectors because people were bringing weapons. And I remember that. I remember when they first implemented metal detectors. I'll never forget it. And it was for that reason. People were bringing guns in their backpack.
Damn.
That's when it got worse.
I don't know if I would have been able to survive in DC because I'm just not used to.
You just got to be on your P's and Q's.
But I'm just the thought in my head, my 10, 11, 12-year-old daughter or son getting up that early, catching a regular city bus to school and back home.
But see, I was out of boundary. I don't forget that. When I went to, I'm from Southeast, born and raised. So me going all the way to hell uptown, I was out of boundary. I had to get special permission for that. Mainly, that was my family fighting for me to get into a better school. That's all that was.
Oh,
They knew that Kramer and Anacostia wasn't cutting it. So they was like, nah. We need this nigga to be successful. Let's, that's how they felt. Let's put him in the best schools at that time. And that's what they did. I went to Jefferson for a little second in Southwest. Then I got transferred to Deal. Alice Deal Junior High School all the way uptown. Matter of fact, I done ran through them. I done ran through Duke Ellington. I ran through a couple of them until I went to, that's why I'm kind of popular in DC because, I went to school with a lot of people because I was flip-flopping through schools in junior high because they wanted to make sure I was in the best one. And show up and show off. And I graduated from there too. So that was a plus. And that's how I was able to get into Howard real quick. But I ain't go to Howard. I was like, nah, I don't want Howard. But I got accepted there. Howard, Hampton, a whole bunch of them. I got accepted. My scores was like that. But I just wanted to do it the right way. For me. I wanted to do it for me, not for them. At that point, when I got older, I said, man, I'm doing everything for them. Let me do it for me. So I changed everything up.
Wow. Hey, Sharice.
Yes, peace and love.
You from DC too,
She
right?
breaking up.
I don't know where you at,
She broke.
Sharice, but you breaking up.
I know. I'm in Southeast. It's awful service in Southeast. Let me just say that.
Trees galore. That's why.
Exactly.
The lines. That's what's going on. It was bad service everywhere, especially if you driving.
Yes. I just wanted to hit the link because Sister Bethy, it's good to see Dane up here. I was all shocked. I'm like, oh, period. So yeah.
Yeah.
And then it sounds like y'all talking about DC, so of course. Yeah, I can't believe you didn't know that, Sister Betty. Yeah, we've been metroing it, like
I did
thugging
not
it
know
a
that. That's
long time.
scary
That's
to
how we
me.
got to school. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Matter of fact, it
And
was
we
to the
still
point where,
like that.
and we had to pay. We had to pay for the bus and the metro. They gave us tokens. Okay. I don't know if they still do that now, but I remember we had to go down Metro Center to get tokens, school for the students. And as we put the token on the bus, and then they gave us Metro cards to catch the train. And our parents had to pay for that every month.
Yeah, but that month break came in a clutch though, Dad. I'm not gonna hold you, okay?
Say it again.
Joint for the month came. I said the joint for the month came in a clutch.
Yeah, especially when you ain't got no, when you out like on the weekends, that came in classes. You ain't had to pay for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Everything was free.
Oh, you could use them on the weekends and stuff too.
Absolutely.
Smart.
That's basically yours at that point. I mean, you pay for it. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you this question. Since you're here, I got 2 DC people up here. So I was on BAP's channel earlier. And, I never looked at it.
You said who?
BAP, Aboriginal Power.
Okay.
I was on his channel earlier. And I never looked at it that way. When you're talking about the United States is in DC, it's really not what we see that it's really DC.
Huh? Wait. Huh? Wait, say okay. Huh?
Well, when I was on
say
BAP's
it again,
channel
like differently,
earlier, right? All right. When I was on BAP's channel earlier,
okay,
there was an old man, and they were discussing that the United States is Washington, D.C. They have the 10 mile radius. That's United States. So when I'm thinking those are the colonial states, they're just supposed to be there and not in the other states. Is that so?
Are we referring to the government?
Yeah, the United States.
Yeah, the government was established in the city of Washington. And technically, the district is supposed to be only the city of Washington.
So
it's supposed to be. Keep in mind, that's where the federal government, the courts are located and everything. United States Supreme Court is in D.C. Their jurisdiction is supposed to be only D.C. Only.
So they're supposed to only be living in D.C.
As far as the government is concerned. Not the people, it's the government.
Oh, okay. All right. Now I got you. Because I was lost for a minute. I was thinking, that they were just supposed to be in there. So they're incorporated in DC.
That's their capital. Keep in mind, that's where the capital is also.
Correct.
That's all DC.
Federal. Yeah. It's mostly federal territory in DC. That's why most people can't buy land here and things like that, because it's federal territory. It was carved out specifically for their whatever the fuck they were trying to do.
Yeah, they took parts of Virginia and Maryland and made the city of Washington.
So, this is so confusing. So, all right, whereas if you incorporate your business in another state, they just happen to incorporate to run and oversee their 50 states in DC.
Wait, as far as the states are concerned, the states have their own individual governments. I had this conversation with you before. As far as, keep in mind, they're calling them local governments, but those are state governments. Each government, each state has their own government, has their own president.
Right.
That's what the governor is there for.
Right.
So it's up to them if they want to follow by the Supreme Court, which is, of course, the one in Washington, D.C. They're trying to say by law that they're obligated. But as we can see to this day, Texas ain't listening to them.
I thought for sure. Now I know the branches of the government and all that other stuff.
Okay.
But I thought for sure that when they redid everything all over, that the only way that they could join the union was they had to agree to the supreme law of the land being DC, the federal government.
Or in DC. Yeah. I mean, technically that's correct.
So, which is why they went to war, because one of the states went ahead and pulled away from the union and started their own government.
If they ceded from the union, then yeah. I mean, keep in mind, everyone still has their own government.
Right. No. I know that. But the Confederates had their own government altogether. And they're not going to be part of the union. And because at first they did, but then they pulled out and started their own government and said, we're not being part of this union.
They started their own coalition. Mm-hmm.
Right. So is that what we're dealing with now when it comes to Texas?
Soon. Yep. That's about to happen.
In California as well, right?
Mm-hmm. And Florida. Yep. They eventually they're gonna see from the. I want that to happen.
Me too.
I want it to happen.
So if they do that, then
is this due to the migrant crisis?
Yeah, it is. Part of it is due to the migrant crisis, but it's mainly how the Supreme Court is trying to dictate from far away, and they don't know what's going on for real. They just like, nah, don't do that, and Texas like, nah. Gabbard ain't playing. He's setting the example.
He sure isn't.
Like at that time where everybody had to wear masks, we didn't.
Yeah. In DC?
Nah, in Texas. I was out here.
Oh, that's right.
When that happened. Matter of fact, I had just moved out here in Texas when that happened. They started that crap in 2019.
Right.
And tried to pretend like it was mandatory in 2020. Abbott was like, nah, what? Man, if y'all don't come outside and go get your groceries with masks, nah, that's not, if you want to do that, go ahead. It's not mandatory. Not out here.
So didn't they kind of like punish Texas during the ice storm?
Yeah, see, that's where they getting Texas back at with these storms. And it's still happening. Still to this day. Matter of fact, I think we got another one coming today. That's where they getting Texas back at. Yeah, a lot of people died during that ice storm. They were not prepared for that. Yeah, they weren't ready for that at all. They weren't ready for that at all. A lot of people died. But yeah, and then on top of all these, not only the ice storm, they got hailstorms happening now. Hailstorms, tornadoes galore. And I mentioned this during the live stream. These tornadoes are acting weird. This is how you can tell that they can control the events of the weather, because tornadoes were sitting dormant in locations for long periods of time. And the meteorologists were coming out like they never seen that before, ever. This is something that this is irregular. And I was like, damn, let's run around real quick for like 4 hours. Let's get out this area. And we did. We packed up and left for a second because they were playing games with Texas at that time. Since they can't control them by way of paperwork, they said, all right, let's control them by the weather.
And that's what I stand on. I swear. That's why I did the segment I did yesterday. Because, I mean, you might have a different belief than me, but I don't believe that sun and moon and stars. I don't believe that stuff. I think they're being controlled from here. Because how do they... I just have a problem with, the whole thing of them saying that the stars were here before man. And I disagree. And I'm like, how is that possible when somebody gave an order to create it?
Now, that's parts of astrology. What I'm referring to is weather manipulation, which is real. Yeah. HARP had it at first, but they moved HARP over to DARPA. DARPA's department, basically a part of the Department of Defense. So the federal government is controlling the weather, hands down.
I know it. I told you. And I think the stars are cameras. They're watching everything. Those stars are a camera. They look like cameras. I'm sorry, and they twinkle.
Or they could be drones. Yeah, you right about that though. It could be.
I
It could
showed
be.
everybody this yesterday, and I was trying to talk with Brother Sanchez, but it's hard because Brother Sanchez be having like 30, 40 people on his panel, and everybody want to ask him questions. And I went and looked at a star. They look the same. That's a star looking through a telescope on the right, and that's a damn camera mounted on the wall. And I said it looks the same.
I'm gonna tell you right now, when Tesla, I mean not Tesla, what's his name? Elon Musk, like he just recently launched one of his rockets up, so-called to the, in space. I watched that live stream. I sure did. I went right downstairs in my living room, cut the big TV on so I could see that in 4K. Let me see what that's going. And you know what they did? They made it too dark where you can't see nothing.
Yeah, why do they do that?
I don't know. Somebody hiding something. You couldn't see nothing.
Everything is being controlled right from this earth. The sun, the moon. And I'm like, how they know what chemicals are in the sun? How they know what chemicals are in the moon? And it just so happened the same chemicals in both of them are the same chemicals in our body. And when I learned how they make gas, it freaked me out. It comes from animal and plant matter. Feces, hair, fur. When you bury them, it makes gas over a period of years. That's how gas is created. I'm like, well, I'll be damned. They've been lying the whole time.
A lot of technology has developed based on the elements that surrounding the people or surrounding the environment. They took other people's ideas and capitalized on it. Mainly, it was our people.
Yeah, it had to be.
The majority. My wife has a segment getting ready to come out. Let me stop doing that. Because it's been some copycatters.
Stop telling her surprises. Stop telling her.
I gotta stop. I gotta stop doing that because it's way too many people copycat now.
You always do that too.
And they in the 13%, so I'm gonna stop sharing it. Because when I shared in the 13%, turn around and people sending me messages, hey, this person is just, and now they trying to hurry up and talk about what I'm getting ready to, I'm not.
That's why
I gotta stop that now.
When I get ready to do my segment, I just go live because I'm like, this is disgusting.
Yeah.
I just go live. I just strictly now just go live because there are copycats and it's sad.
It's big time. It's bad. It's so sad that I seen somebody trying to lie and say that I was talking about that. Okay, this is one particular person that's copying me so bad that he set up his stream to look just like mine. Now, what I mean by that is, don't you see how my my picture is right now? And you see that white surround him every time I talk?
Yeah.
That's called a waveform visualizer. Okay, and that has to be manually programmed. So this particular person that I'm talking about was trying to pretend like I was talking about the theme of his live stream. But he's lying straight up. What I'm referring to is that he copied my waveform visualizer. Don't nobody else got that but me.
Damn.
And he must have asked around and tried to figure it out. Like who knows how to do that? And he got his jump set up just like mine. Sure enough, he even went as far as, don't you know my intro? When I got Famous Dave from DC, that one that be on the radio, like, you're listening to such and such, blah, 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 blah. He copied that too. Yeah. He copied that as well. I'm talking about now, it's to the point where not only just him, it's people on TikTok, it's people on Facebook. I'm getting everything now. Instagram. I'm like, God damn. Now, the way I look at it now is that I influenced the culture. Straight up. I definitely did. And I said, all right, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. Since there's so many copycats, I'm going to just pull back on it. Let them do what they do. Because there's only one me. Like, you can copy what I got going on, but you can't copy respect. People are going to notice that you are copying me, hands down. And then, you know, of course, he probably blocking them from the chat and stuff like that. All the rest of them are too. But I said to myself, look, tell you what, man, I put a lot of work into this thing. Ain't nobody going to take that from me. I'm going to just continue to do what I'm doing. But yeah, I'm gonna stop sharing the plans. I'm gonna stop. I got to because people are copycatting. They waiting for that. They waiting for that. I remember years ago I said that I was noticing that people are copycatting because they can't do their own
They can't
content.
create their own content. So they
And
look for
even you
ideas.
come out with documents. Now I didn't watch a few of your live streams, and I'm proud of you, by the way, because I've watched a few of your live streams, and you coming up with your own. I said that's what you're supposed to do. Now, if you wanted to do it the way I'm doing it in documentary style, you could kill it. If you want to do that, that could be your videos. You could also do it for your live streams. But
I have to learn
because
how to do that. I'm still a beginner with this whole thing, Dane. I'm not technology like you
hire
think.
somebody for that.
Well, I want to learn how to make shorts. I don't even know how to make shorts. And my daughter
Hire
keeps telling
somebody.
me,
You don't
hire
gotta like.
somebody.
I'm wearing a lot of hats. Sometimes I gotta pull. You know what I'm saying, and hire people. Hey, help me with this. Help me with that, because it's tiring. It's tiring. You can hire. There's nothing wrong with outsourcing. You know what I'm saying? Outsource some things. You know, for the time being.
Oh, okay.
We both own businesses. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I will do that. Maybe I will. Because someone recommended that I make a short of of the segment I did yesterday, showing that, just giving my personal opinion on how I felt about the creation of the earth. And, my fight with my discussion. I won't call it a fight because I don't fight with Brother Sanchez, but my discussion, about man being here either the same time, being here before the stars. I'ma stand on that until I see something different.
People gonna have their opinion about how humankind was created. They're also gonna have their opinion about how the earth was created and if it's round, if it's flat. That's his thing. But I mean, it's always theory based. There's nothing that's gonna be concrete to the point where you could be like, all right, boom, it's proven.
Right. I don't go by theories and hypotheses. I can't do it. I can't. But I do believe the earth is flat. I don't believe this world up in the sky that they talk about.
Yeah, it's more like this. Like how I look at it is that it's oblique. You can't tell what shape it's in. But we know that land is on water. Okay? And that necessarily is not above ground. You understand what I'm saying? The water is below it. We already know that. When accretion happens, water rises. The land disappears based on the water rising. So that means that water is below the land, hands down. We're floating on water. Now, if anything, with people saying that it's an earth and it's round, I can't believe that. The reason why is because I can't see that. Like, I can't see that. That's not realistic. Now, I wouldn't call it flat neither, but I understand when people say flat because it's on a flat surface. I agree with that. Because keep in mind, when I go up on a plane and fly, it's not like I'm going up and down. I'm going straight.
Yeah.
The only time we going up and down is when we landing or taking off. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, and we flying above ground.
Correct.
So yeah, in that sense, it will be flat. Yeah, because I can see that can be proven. But as far as it being a flat surface, as far as the Earth is concerned, I can't prove it. I mean, we got to travel around the Earth to see if I'm saying, if everything all in the same shape. But it's a possibility. But as far as that round crap, nah, who came up with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you even say? And then they got the globes. It just, and we circling around. That's another thing I don't like. Talking about we circling around the moon and then we circling around the sun. Nah, yeah. I don't like that neither.
I can't see it being round, point blank, because they take these pictures of outer space and they try to make you seem like we're in this ball, and it's not a ball. Because if we're in a ball, how did you get in?
Right.
How did you get in? You gotta fly, and it's just straight out flat air. It's air. And then what makes it look even more fake is when they're taking pictures of outer space, right? And they got a camera leaning on the earth as if it's leaning up against the earth. And I'm like, now that's fake.
Another thing is how come they only landed on the moon and not no other planets?
Because I don't believe they're landing on the moon.
I don't believe it's other planets.
It's other areas in here, and
it could be other dimensions, whether if you want to call it planet or not.
I think they be in Mexico some damn where, or Arizona, because they killed that black dude that went in and was supposed to went on the moon. All of a sudden, they killed him because he jumped up and said, "It's fake, y'all. It's fake." I knew it was fake.
Yeah, the majority of that moon landing and all the rest of that was a Hollywood production.
And putting the flag
that was
like
exposed a long time ago. But see, they did so much manipulation that certain people can't grasp whether if it's truth or not. So if it makes them uncomfortable, they will be like, nah, you know what? No, that person is telling the truth. They just gonna automatically throw it off. So they don't want to go any further in their research or anything like that or investigation. They much rather. That's for right now. Like when we talking about we're the indigenous people, a lot of people would turn their nose up, but they so used to we Pan-African, all the rest of that. They're going to turn their nose up because their reality is threatened into thinking that they were lied to this entire time. They like, nah, that can't be possible. I heard it from my teachers. I heard it from such and such and blah, 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 blah. It's the same thing. That's indoctrination. Big time. It's indoctrination. Like I'm open-minded. A person would have to be open-minded to see, hey, when a person say the earth is flat, where they coming from? Like look at it. On an investigation, like an investigative purpose, like the way for you to do that is to like literally look into it. See what the person is coming from. Not only that, there's no real way to prove that the earth is flat all round because nobody really traveled the entire earth. We're just assuming that NASA did that. Oh, they did this and they did that because they got rockets this and rockets that. I believe that's crap. That's bull crap. I believe science is bull crap. That's what I believe. I never liked science. I never did. Science is, I could read in between the lines. Science is like ideas agreed upon, by certain people. Certain people wanted to play God, and they created science. like mathematics is science. On top of that, a lot of mathematics doesn't work. A lot of engineers could admit to that because a lot of their ideas or theories that they, put into fruition, they come back and, hey, wait a minute, that one failed. Well, let's try it again. See, it's always about it being a theory or hypothesis. And the thing is that their lead is to try to solve it. And if it doesn't work, okay, let's move on to the next idea. But they're calling that science. That's deemed as science. But I never liked science for that reason. But, it's okay to have leads and hypotheses, ideas, but certain people had their own particular agendas. And the majority of that science was racially based. That's the reason why I don't like science. For example, eugenics. That's science. Yes. But that was racially based. You see what I'm saying? So it was being racially biased against a certain people. Which group of people were superior, which group of people were inferior. I don't like that.
Me either.
Who determines that? The scientist? Based off of whose theory?
There you go.
His theory. See, that's what I don't like. That's what I don't like. And they're being deemed. Hold up. My wife texted me. And they're being deemed as okay. All right, I gotta hold up. All right, she need help with editing this video. I gotta come back. Let me help her edit this video real quick because I know she's getting ready to put that out.
Okay, because I wanted to ask you your opinion on something with the British records and Creole and.
I'll be right back.
Oh, okay.
I'll be right back. Let me help her with this, and I'll come right back.
Okay, cool. I hope you can. Damn, just when I was gonna ask him the gravy stuff, y'all. I wanted to see his opinion because I never got a chance to ask him his opinion, but I'll try to hold it for as long as I can by talking about the government documents until he gets back, because I really, really want to ask him his opinion on these British records. So here I go. Government documents, and you need to understand this. You need to understand this. Some of you do, some of you don't. But even though the documents that we have, the census sheets, those are the only reconstructed records. Like your marriage certificate, your death certificate, and your birth certificate, those are not reconstructed records. The census sheets are the reconstructed records. And that's a fact. They are. Because the British came and burned down a lot of federal documents in the White House. So whatever they had, they pieced it together. They recreated the records with the information. And the one thing about the records, even though they reconstructed the records, they didn't lie about the family members in our households. We know who our grandfathers are, we know who our grandmothers are, and we know their children. So those are the truths on the records. The address is accurate because we can attest to living at those addresses. Okay. Now, the United States federal census takers, including the local states, they never racially classified us. They had an option to either pick our race or our color. So, in an effort to separate white people, and I'm just using modern day words, in an effort to sort out the white people in a community and the black people, that's what they literally did. They just said that we're black because we're darker and white people because they're lighter. All right. That's not our race. And they, even though we know we're not black, my hat is black. Obviously, I'm not black. I'm brown. So the B could be for brown or black, but on their census sheet, if you're going by color, all right. If you look like me, you're going to get a B on the census sheet when it comes to identifying the color of my skin. And if your skin is like Trump's, you're going to get a W. So that's not a race. They just gave the description of what the household looks like. Now, if there was a person who seemed to look like Drake or Mariah Carey, they're going to put M for mulatto, because in their based on their observations, they see Negro features, but they're not completely what they visually see a Negro is, or a black person. But they know that there's some features of us in this person. So they're going to put an M. And it was based on the observations. Okay. So let's just put that out there. They never racially classified us. They didn't. Now, if you're looking in 1830 census, there were only, and literally are, Europeans and us here within these 50 states. They didn't identify Native Americans. They never literally wrote Native American on any documents. Look at the 1830 census. This government was only dealing with whites and blacks. That's it. There was no other race of people here. If it is, please put it in the chat. Please. I challenge you to put what other race was here within the boundaries of the 50 states. in 1830? What other race? Other than whether you're white or black. There was no other race here. And when I say white Europeans, I mean Irish, Dutch, French, England. These are the variations of the different white people that were here when you're talking colonizers. Italian. But wait a minute, were there? No. Spaniards, Spain. That's all that was here. And you know what? Now they had, and then they had us. There was nobody else. And if you notice, they didn't racially classify the Europeans either. They just put them all as a white. If they were from those countries, they just put a W for white. That's all that was on our census sheets, black or white. Some of our census sheets said Negroes. Some of them said colored. So to make my point make sense, in 1830, there were only blacks and whites here. And when I say whites, all the different Europeans, you got, like I said, the French, the Dutch, the Irish, Polish. That was it. And then us. That's it. No other race of people on our census sheets. So now, here's the question. Seeing that, and we were all over the landmass. This is before 1830 and up to and including 1830. That's all that was here. All right. Now we get to, let's say, 1829, 1830. Still just only us here, y'all, blacks and whites. So now there's an order that came out. Go to Oklahoma, because now they're getting ready for Reconstruction, and it's going to take 30 years because Reconstruction was in 1860. But 1830, if there's nobody here but black people and white people, and they tell them to go to Oklahoma, who are they talking to? Who are they talking to go to Oklahoma on the Trail of Tears? The Trail of Tears. They told the Indians, listen, they told the Indians to go to Oklahoma. So if they're telling the Indians to go to Oklahoma, who are they talking to? The white people or the black people? That's my question. We in 1830. Ain't nobody here but black people and white people. All the different kind of Europeans. So if they're saying, telling all the Indians to go to Oklahoma, who are they talking to if only black people and white people here? That's the question. Copper, you said us. You're right. Does anybody else agree with that? When they told the Indians to go to Oklahoma, Indian Removal Act, 1830, there's only black people here and white people, no other race of people. I'm just talking about description of the skin. It's just black people here and white people. And they told all the Indians, you don't want to become they told all the Indians to go to Oklahoma. So all these, now remind you, there was already Indians in Oklahoma. So now they told these Indians to go to Oklahoma. The majority of them, Indians, said no. They stayed in their own homes on their own farmlands. So if all the Indians stayed, the majority of them stayed in their homes, they said, no, we ain't going to Oklahoma. Who were the Indians that stayed? Please give me that answer in the chat room. So now we said some of the blacks went because they was in they went on to Oklahoma on the Trail of Tears. But the majority of them stayed. So who were the majority of the Indians that stayed? Were they black people or white people? That's my question. The Indians that stayed, were they black people or were they white people? The ones that stayed and didn't go to Oklahoma. Right. Some of us went and some of us stayed. The brown, that was us. Correct. Correct. They stayed. Because the ones that stayed, you got the ones that stayed, the blacks. I'm using modern day language. And the whites. They stayed. Now. Correct. So now, here comes the census. You going around to these homes. You didn't call them Indians. When they did the census, they wrote black on the census sheet. They didn't write Native American. They wrote black on the census sheet. When they got around to the Indians to these blacks that stayed, they put them as blacks on the census sheet. That's when the Indians that stayed and didn't go to Oklahoma, that's when they became blacks. That's when they became blacks. Because they said, we ain't going to Oklahoma. We staying in our own damn farmlands in our homes. 1830. So they went around in the households, the local and the federal agents, census takers. They went around, and that was the first time they identified the Indians as black. This is why you know black and Indian is synonymous. Because we stayed, okay, so you're going to be blacks now. The ones that went were the Indians, were Indians. They weren't called blacks. They were Indians that left to go to Oklahoma. So you're staying on your land. Okay. They wrote you in as on the census sheet, just description of your skin. They didn't put you as an Indian. So now, if I am wrong, please come and correct me. Because again, there was nobody here but black people and white people. I'm keeping it a buck. That was the first time that they identify us as black. We became black because they just went by our physical description, not by our race. Black is a color. So they never racially identified us. So if I'm wrong, prove to me I'm not wrong. Prove to me I'm not wrong. That's all I'm saying. Because what happened to all the thousands of Indians that stayed and said, no, we ain't going to Oklahoma. We staying right on our farms. What happened to all of them? All them thousands of Indians that said, hell no, I'm staying in my house. All right, dads, we're staying. So the Indians that did not go to Oklahoma in 1830 became black people. They became what is identified as black people. Because all that's now on the census sheet is black and white and mulatto. So the Indians became black people rather than Indians. When they went to Oklahoma, oh, they the Indians in Oklahoma on the reservation, but off the reservation, the census taker identify our skin color. When you're born, the doctor didn't define your race. He never, not one doctor, marriage certificates, death certificates, none of them defined your race on any of those documents. So when you're born, because if you're sending documents to Washington, D.C., the federal governments, if the census takers are preparing documents for the federal government, such as census sheets, death certificates, whatever, because they want to count the mortality rate, and you're going to send these documents to the federal government by identifying us by the color of our skin, helps the government determine, okay, how many blacks, how many whites. But what you're really saying is how many Indians and how many whites. How many Indians, how many Europeans. When the federal government looks at the document, he don't got to know what you look like or anything. His concern is, okay, this is a black person. This is a white person. So they can sort paperwork, sort the blacks with the blacks, and put the whites over here, the blacks over here. Not one of the documents, census sheets, said Africans. Not one. In 1830, no classification of African. No classification of African on any birth certificates. No classification of Africans on any death certificates. No classification of Africans on any marriage certificates. None. After the blacks, after naming you blacks on the census sheet by the color of your skin, and that was ongoing, they use either a Spanish word or English word. Because Negro, it's not a race, it's a color. And I proved that on the British records. Even though, the Brits were not here, they've been long gone in 1830. The Brits are really still here. They're just called colonizers that took over, that rose up. The former slaves rose up and took over their British government's government. It doesn't mean that they're, just because they were subjects of British, doesn't mean that they still wasn't the British people. So when you go from black to Negro, it's the same thing. It's just two different languages. Because Negro was first. because the Spaniards, when they came here, they said Negroes. That just means that they just decide, ooh, darker people, black people. I'm saying in English, ooh, black people. But when you say it in Spanish, oh, tú tienes negros, negros, because they see Negro Indians, because they're black ones. They were describing our color. That's not a race. When you're saying Negro, we're Aboriginals, because that's who they saw when they came here. Negros. It's still saying blacks. Yeah. Black what? Aborigines. Yeah. And this is what the Pan-Africans suffer with right now. You can't change this shit. It's documented history. It's factual history. They described who they saw here. They know Africans when they see Africans. If they pulled up here, they clearly would have said, ooh, Africans. That wasn't the case. So when you're looking at your census sheets, you better believe there's truth. You can't say you brought a people here if they were here when you got here. That's the bad part. Can't do it. You cannot say you brought a people here when they were here when you got here. That's what the Pan-Africans can't get around. It's documented who was here when they got here. So these PanBooBoos and people like Not a Coincidence and Shay Sun, they can't get over that shit. We know for a fact, and Empress Oprah showed this. She showed this. These people who could not speak English, they were speaking Polish, German, whatever European they were speaking their language. They were not speaking English when they came over here. But the interesting thing is, how did they get our names? They got names when they got here. And it happened to be the same name as yours. The greatest thing you did, the craziest thing, and the biggest thing that they did. I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. If they're giving your name, your full identity, let me give it to you this way. If John Jackson is here, already here, living on his land, in his home, with his family, right? John Jackson, living on his farm. He's Indian. Living on his farm with his family. He all of a sudden gets killed. Now somebody from Ireland come over here. Their name is John Jackson. So now John Jackson, they killed John Jackson here. Ran the family off the land. Gone, or threatened them. So now wifey is being threatened. Get out of here. Because they didn't kill John Jackson. So now a white John Jackson's coming here. And guess what? He now lives on that land. Because he was given the name John Jackson. Straight up identity. Because the wife and the kids abandoned the house, even though they were threatened. You ain't staying on this acres or 50 acres with your kids. Get out of here. We're taking it. So now you have a white John Jackson. And the names duplicated all across Indian lands. Oh, wait a minute. Before you died, you were black. And so now a white John Jackson lives in this house. The neighbors is looking like, you're not John Jackson. That's what I'm talking about. I've done genealogies, listen, and I shit you not. This is where we know that they messed up. I've done genealogies. Listen, and this is how we know what they did. And that's what I do for a living. As my part-time job. Black family. John Jackson, his wife Sarah Jackson, 8 kids, Bubba Jackson, Boo Boo Jackson, Doodoo Jackson, and his sisters, Lisa Jackson, Sharice Jackson, and Shammer Jackson. Okay? All black on the census sheet. Black. You got a white family with the same exact names, even the damn nickname of the child. But here's the one thing about that. The white persons got what white person nicknames their baby Booker Jackson, Booba Jackson, Bubba Jackson. Don't no white people name their baby Bubba Jackson, but on the census sheet, you got a whole white family, a whole black family with all these names down to the baby's nickname, the last baby got a nickname, Bubba. And the white people got the same duplicated names, and the baby got a nickname, Bubba. Don't no white people give their baby a name, Bubba. Don't no white people nickname their baby Bubba. Or Black Squirrel, or Little Squirrel, or Butt. The last baby nickname is Butt. So the white family got all the same names on their census sheet. And the last baby they had nickname was Butt. And they're all white. Something's wrong. But now, the original black people that was in that house, now it's white people with the same names. This is terrible. How did the black person become white? But when we do your genealogy, you came from London, UK. So how are you an Indian here? It makes no sense. It literally says you were born in London and you have grandparents that are still there. So what did you do here? Theft took place. Terrible, terrible, terrible. But see, that's the difference between the blacks and the white. The blacks genealogy check out being here the whole time and no other time and not coming from nowhere else when you're doing your genealogy. But when you do the white person's genealogy that's claiming this land, they're they go back to the UK, Germany, France. But wait, you're French. How did you get that name? You have a French last name. What? Something's wrong. Something's wrong here. These are the things that were happening. Land theft. Damn, I thought Dane would be back by now. Come on, Dane. I need your opinion. Crazy. Because I really wanted his opinion on these British records. I explained to them that Creole in Jamaica, if you're African listed in the British Census records, they racially knew who the folks were. They racially knew that they were African. This is the Brits, the Jamaican government and the British. African. The British were very descriptive with their records. And they kept a track of the Africans that came near versus the Africans that were born in Jamaica. They kept a track of that in their records. Well, I'm gonna go on without Dane because he's taking a little longer than I thought. I really. So let's read this first. Here is a rich as a Creole. They're telling you who the Creoles are in Jamaica. In 18th century Jamaica. Now the 18th century, that's in the 1700s. In 18th century Jamaica, a Creole was a non-indigenous person born on the island, whether of European, African, or mixed descent. That's what a Creole is. A Creole is not an Arawak and it's not a Taino. So if you're of mixed descent, you could be mixed with a Taino and you could be mixed with an Arawak. But they were very clear who the Creoles are, and we already know who Africans are. A Creole was a non-indigenous person born on the island. That's what their records show. Now, what I want you to do is not get upset with me. These are not United States records. These are not my records. These are records from Jamaica. These are records controlled by the former British government in that area. I did not do this. You can't get mad at Sister Bethy. See? Old Betty, her nationality was African. She was 100 years old. And her birthday was 1717. She was an enslaved person. And her enslaver, her boss, was Caswell Hill. Now, let me pull this up. Again, these are British colonial dependencies, slave registers from 1813 to 1834. Where at? Jamaica. I did not do this. I don't know if anybody's ever seen this, but on their census sheet, they got the names, they got the color of the person, they got the age, and whether they were African or Creole. And then remarks. These remarks are just telling you who their mama was. Now, when you look at color, you notice, this is why I said in the United States, they never racially classified us. They only went by our color. So a lot of our ancestors in the United States, grandma, great grandma, have Negro on their records. Or it could be colored. But Negro is a color. It's just saying it in Spanish. Negro. It's just the color of a skin, y'all. So when you see Negro, colored, black, the United States only observed us. They never classified us racially. Now, the British government was very descriptive. And here's a Creole. This is a non-indigenous baby that's 6 months old that was born on the island. It's an African. An African born on the island. How do I know he was African? Because of the color. Negro. Negro is the color. It's black. That's all this is saying. These are not my records. This is Jamaica's records. So all of these are Africans. They're all Africans. Everybody on here is African. The only difference is they just said, okay, this is an African born in Jamaica, and this is an African period that came from Jamaica. These are not my records. Marianne, oh my goodness. They got a lot of people that came from Africa, directly from Africa. And then you got the ones that were just born there. And it's 1,168 pages of Africans. With like 45, you don't even know how many on each page. I think the number at the top might be how many's on each page. It said 82. They're all African. See, and when you were mixed, they did put mulatto. Mulatto is a color too. It's not a race. It means you're half black and half white. Or this person could have been half they could have been half Taino and half European. You don't know. But they know the baby's mixed. If it was fully brown like me and you, they would have Negro there. But in this instance, it was a mixed child. But the mixed child, that's interesting, is a Creole. So obviously it's part African and part European, which is white. So there it is. Yep. Creole. This person, 28 years old, but born on the island, non-indigenous, because they're half African and half European. I did not make these records up. We read in Jamaica's archives what a Creole is. So if you're going to get angry and upset and telling me I'm making people feel some type of way, please don't blame me. These are their records. The obvious thing to do would be to go say, hey, I ain't no African. Go and tell that to the Jamaican and the British government, because the British are saying that they got you from Africa. Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. When I work as a temp, as a human resources, I have 2 doubles with the same name and date of birth. That's why they keep us out of certain positions, because somebody's running around here with your identity. Now, and I think of all kinds of things. Could, because the way we have done business with white Europeans. The way we did business with a lot of white Europeans. Could you been cool with a white person, say, yo, these KKKs and these people are going to keep effing with me. I want you to say you're me. And that way they won't bother us. Say you're me and I'm your slave. And that way they won't bother us. Because they know you're white and they're going to think we're your slaves. A lot of that went down. You better believe it. You know why? Because it's done similarly today. You get a real estate agent and the sellers never see who the buyer is, because the real estate agent is representing you, a white person. All this goes down. So I don't know. I don't think Dane's gonna come back. I really wanted his opinion. Let me just text him. Oh, wait a minute. He might have texted me. 7:34. He said, we got tornadoes coming. We're heading out. I got to link up with you a different day. Okay, so he's not going to be able to come back. They got tornadoes coming and they're heading out. So he told me he's going to link up with me a different day, but I'm glad he came. It's good for him that he came. Ouch. So I'll put the link in the chat to see if anybody has anything to say. I've almost been on now for 2 hours. I didn't want to be on too long today, but I really want you to listen to this segment again and understand how you, as the Indian in 1830, became a black person, or how you, as the Aboriginal, may I say, because that is the Aboriginal is the person directly from the soil and nowhere else. How you became a black person by this government, on the census sheet. Don't give a damn about you being an Aboriginal. You became black. They just described you. That's it. They described you on the census sheet. They didn't racially classify you. If anybody's doing racially classifying you, is you. You're doing that. You're selecting African American. Stop doing that shit. Because number one, your ass can't prove that you African American. Now, people who have government records that lead them to an African ancestor on the census sheet can prove that. I damn sure can't prove it. So when people from the islands, such as Jamaica, tell you that they're African, believe them and respect them for it. Because on those sheets, you've seen all those Africans and those Creoles who are non-indigenous people in that land. But the Jamaican government and British government give a description of who the Creole is in the Jamaican land. Now, I'm not saying there were no Tainos there and Arawaks already there, because there were, just not on those census sheets. Perhaps just like over here, the reason why they're not on the census sheet. Hey, Shirley Baker. Yeah, copper aborigines. That we do. If you can't prove that you are African, and your family came from Africa, you're lying when you check off African American and African, because you can't prove it. You shouldn't be doing nothing that you can't prove. You cannot prove you're from Africa, but you can prove that you are the Indian that stayed and didn't go to Oklahoma, because you got it on the census sheet. Because remember, it was just black and white people. You can prove that, but you cannot prove that you're African. You can't prove it. Please spare me with the DNA test. Stop. 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 It's over. Pan-Africanism is over. Because when you go in, just remember this and keep this in your head. Pan-Africans, those that are indoctrinated and want to stand on it and believe it so bad, but won't take their ass over there in Africa and stay. Stop. I'm going to tell you why you need to stop. Because number one, when you're on the census records, you were never classified as African or African American. See, white people could say, I'm German, I'm Jewish, I'm Polish, I'm Slavic. But you can't say you're African, because then you're lying. White people don't need no blood test to say that they're Polish, or they're from England, or they're from Britain or Irish or Dutch. They don't need blood tests. You're on the census sheet in 1830, and your grandpa is head of household, and they put him as black. That's the Indian, baby. No African. And then when you look at the census sheet, grandpa told and grandma told you where their mother and father was born. I took y'all there already with this. If grandpa is in his 20s on the or 30s on the census sheet, or 50s in 1830, and now he's 50 in 1830, subtract 50 from 1830. What year does that put grandpa being born in? Let's do the math. 1830 minus 50. Wait a minute. 1830 minus 50. Grandpa was born in 1780. Okay. So if Grandpa was born in 1780, and guess what? Grandpa's mama and Grandpa's mama and Papa is still alive. What year do you think they were born in? Let's just say his mama and Papa, add 20 years to his mama and Papa from 50. Let's just say their Papa is, if your grandpa is 50, then his grandpa is 20 years older than that. So let's say Grandpa was born, we Grandpa's not 50. His father has got to be like 70 to have a 50-year-old kid. So 1850, let me see, 1830 minus 70, because that's how old your grandma and grandpa's papa and mama is. They was born in 1760. And guess what? Their parents were born on the mainland. So now, and guess what? They're alive. 70, 80, because their grandma, that's that grandpa that's 70 years old, his mama and daddy alive, but they real old. So now if they're 70, add 20 to that, 90. So let's see. 1830 minus 90. Damn, we in 1740, almost in the 1600s. And their parents were born here. No traces of Africans. Why do you need a DNA test? That's fake and for entertainment purposes only. See, you can't prove you're African. You can't. Because the minute you have an ancestor as a head of a household in 1830 on a census that decided not to go to Oklahoma, the court already know that. That's where the line's drawn at. Oh, what? 1830. Wait a minute. Ain't you Anthony Johnson's granddaughter? And he owned like 500 slaves in Virginia. How the hell you from Africa? And you his granddaughter? You're going to be laughed out the court, is what I'm telling you. The DNA test cap. Sorry, that's not going to help you. That DNA test ever come to be so admitted in court, then all the white people in Oklahoma running them damn 5 civilized tribes, they all got a jet. Because it's going to take them back to England, London, Britain, France. Don't play with me today. Let's not go there. You will be laughed, you Pan-Africans. It's over. Long as Sister Bethy got these census sheets. And I do everybody genealogy. I do people from Poland's genealogy, every race, so much in the background. That's what I do. So I'm going to open the link for a little while and leave y'all in here. If you come up, you come up. If you don't, you don't. I would like to hear from you. Let me see. Here's the link. I'm going to do like I normally do. Play music. It was great to have Dane. Dang, I wish he could have came back on the piano. But he came. He came. All right. So the link is in the chat. I'll put some music on. And just let y'all vibe. You come up, you come up. You don't, you don't. There you go. Enjoy, y'all.
My place like you do. Do, do, oh, I do, do. Baby, don't stop. Got the key to the lock. We in our own zone. Make yourself at home. Get to know mine on the inside. We can meet at yours next time. And you feel it fresh in it. Lose control. You don't wanna go slow. For sure. We both already know your place is my place. Now my place is your place. Let's face it. Baby, you know all the places. Places. My place is your place. Your place is my place. Just face it. No one knows my places like you do. Your places like I do. My place like you do. Time's been moving slowly, so we already in too deep. Can't get no sleep on each other. Heavy teasing all day, and when the sun sets, you asking me to come through, kick it with you. Night turn to morning dew. Then you feel it fresh in it, lose control. You don't wanna go slow. For sure, we both already know your place is my place. Now my place is your place. Let's face it. Baby, you know all the places. Places. My place is your place. My place. Your place. My place. Just face it. No one knows my places like you do. Your places like I do. My place like you do. Baby, don't stop. Got the key to the lock. We in our own zone. Make yourself at home. Get to know mine on the inside. We can meet at yours next time. And you feel it fresh in it. Lose control. You don't wanna go slow. For sure, we both already know your place is my place. Now my place is your place. Let's face it. Baby, you know all the places. Places. My place is your place. Your place is my place. Just face it. No one knows my places like you do. Your places like I do. My place like you do. Time's been moving slowly, so we already in too deep. Can't get no sleep on each other. Heavy teasing all day, and when the sun sets, you asking me to come through, kick it with you. Night turn to morning dew. Then you feel it fresh in it.
What's up, sis? How you doing?
Hey, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, beautiful. What's going on?
You feel like are you up to doing my genealogy? Just a little
Yeah,
bit.
you know my email, Koya.
Yeah, I
You
know.
know my email. Just send me an email, love. Not live. It's personal.
Okay,
Send me an email, sweetheart. You already know me.
gotcha.
And you know my contact information. Just send me an email.
Yes, ma'am.
How you been?
Oh, great. I've been great.
Yeah, you feeling good?
Yes.
Yes. So mannerable.
Thank you.
Contact me anytime, baby. You know how to reach me.
Okay, yeah. That's because I'm from Baltimore.
Oh, Baltimore.
Mhm.
Yeah, my nieces, they live in Delaware. They've been out there for now. Damn.
Oh,
Whew. I can't even count the years now how long Toya and I've been out there. My sister lived out there for like 15 years. Then they moved to Florida. My
oh.
nieces and them stayed. They stayed.
Hmm.
My
They,
mom used to live in Delaware. My mom lived in Delaware for like 10 to 15 years too. And then she moved to Florida with my sister.
wow. How is it
Yeah.
there? I've never been.
They live in Wilmington, Delaware. That's
Okay.
where they lived. Wilmington,
Okay. Is
Delaware.
that far from Baltimore?
I don't know my way around um Delaware. But I have gone there a couple of times to visit my sister and my mom. But I could tell you when I went up there, I went to their what do you call it? Their flea market. And there's a lot of what do you call it? Their flea market, a lot of Amish,
Hmm.
and they cook so good. I really enjoyed myself.
I love flea markets in Baltimore. I used to go. I graduated from Northwestern High School, and they have a deli not too far from there, and they have Amish people.
Oh, I love Amish
Yep.
people. Oh, even when I was a little girl, we used to go to Pennsylvania on a school trip.
Oh wow, and
Yeah.
Jewish people.
Yep.
And Italians, but the Italians was right across the street from the Jewish people. And me and my mom was, well, still is, great friends with them both. But they were
Hmm.
with us because we would go over there to eat from them too.
Oh yeah. I stayed in the Jewish deli. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
So good. Oh my.
I drive from where I live all the way to go to get me one of their lambs. What do you call it? The oh god, it's at the tip of my damn tongue. I
Lamb.
love you. No, they made the damn, I almost said it. I forget the name, and I watch when I get off. I'm gonna remember it
Or
because I used to eat them all the time. 'Cause I
kebabs.
thought
It like a sandwich.
it's it's stuffed with something.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
my goodness, what am I talking about?
I think I'm familiar with it.
Oh my god, it was
I
so
don't
good.
either.
I stay in Jewish bakery.
Yeah,
I go to Italian bakery with real Italians
yeah,
bakery, real Italians
yeah.
bakery.
They tell us like the Italians be like, yeah, y'all my people because y'all say what's on y'all mind. I said, so we'll tell them because the Jewish people they was kind of like they don't want to they can't they refuse to say what's on their mind but they try to be polite but the Italians didn't care they just say it we didn't care either we just say it and it wasn't because we were ignorant or we didn't know that's just who we are.
No, not the gyro, bad saint. It was
Gyro,
called something else.
the
What the
gyro,
hell?
that's
Let
a
me just look it up because I used to eat them all the time. It was so good.
okay.
Um,
Yeah, the gyro is like a flatbread with lamb and
Yeah, I know what gyro is.
yeah. Yeah. They like, why the Italians, why you go over there? I'm like, sometimes y'all stuff trash, sometimes their stuff good.
Oh
And
no, Italians here, man. I go buy their bread. I
yeah.
go get their real spaghetti cooked by real Italians.
Mhm.
I eat all their pasta,
Mhm.
all their salads, and I go to the Jews. They cook
Yeah.
so damn good, man.
Yeah, because
Oh
yeah, we
man.
would tell them like y'all spaghetti is hitting, and we go over there for their deli, and the Jewish like, well, why y'all go over there? I said, well, their snacks, their dessert is delicious. They got the cannolis and all of that stuff like that, and y'all
And
just
I
got.
love their matzo ball soup,
Oh,
man.
I never tried that. Was
Oh, I got it. Brisket.
oh
Brisket.
brisket.
I will
Okay.
travel miles for a brisket.
Oh yes, and they
Oh man, that's it. It's a wrap. I will travel miles to get a brisket.
yeah.
I don't play. And then with the Amish, I oh my goodness, what
What's
I would
good,
do for
Sister
Amish
Betty?
bread. Uh-oh, what's good?
You already know. I had to come on here because I heard the Baltimore on here for real. Yeah, I mean,
What's
Oh
up?
yeah. My nieces are
yeah.
still out
I know
there
what y'all talking
strong.
about. Y'all talking about the tactical flea market.
Oh, okay.
That's when you
Oh
get
yeah.
when you on the light grill and then you get from Cherry Hill. When
Uh-huh.
you at the Cherry Hill, you get the Patapsco. If you on a light grill, it depends on if you driving or not. To get to the flea market out Patapsco in Baltimore.
Yeah, did I don't have family in Baltimore, but Delaware. I always the times I went up there, my sister and mom and
Yeah.
always took me to their flea market, and the Amish rules, yo. Oh my goodness, their food is so good.
Yeah.
But I always love Amish food because they made everything homemade. We went out to
Yeah.
the Amish in Pennsylvania, and their bread.
Right.
Oh my goodness!
We used
But
to
up
get the
here in Connecticut, I fly to the Jewish place. They really cook some really great briskets, man. I eat them.
mm-hmm.
Oh
See,
man.
Sister Betty, the thing about it is in Baltimore, we used to have our own natural spots in Baltimore. Like my peoples that's from Poplar Grove over West Baltimore, we had our own corner stores back in the days that I don't know if they sold it or not. I mean, I'm sure they did for money because you already know what our peoples when it comes down to money. But down Lexington Market in Baltimore, they actually have
Oh,
these people that
Lexington
actually
Market.
walk around with horses. They, they actually
Oh
still
my
got the horse
God,
and carriages
Lexington
where they
Market,
give
yo.
out the natural fruits and all that type of stuff like that. They still got those type of people still out here, but you just gotta see it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the city, but
Yeah.
these people actually grow their fruit, and they all peoples. They not no pale face, so they actually really actually grow their fruit and stuff. They go down less than the market. They
You
do the
already
peanuts.
had.
They do the yeah, yep.
Mm.
Is those you have you went down Lexington Market recently, Jeremiah? No.
No, because I've been living out Cambridge, Maryland for a minute. I had to leave
Oh.
Baltimore because I
Oh.
had some crazy stuff happen.
Oh, okay. I'm
Well,
sorry.
my ex-girl, yeah, my ex-girl got killed in McCullough Homes.
Yeah, my condolence.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, she got shot 7 times down there. So I was like, man, it's a wrap for me, especially all the stuff I went through in the city. Cause I've been shot before and all that. I already explained all this. I don't want to make this my show, like everybody always say. But yeah,
Wow.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
yeah,
Yo,
yeah,
that's
it's crazy.
messed
The
up.
city is wild. Cause I had found out like a couple months ago, my little brother had got shot up Town, cause he was hustling and all that for real. And he paralyzed now. He trying to get himself together. He been working on, cause this is my little brother on my mother's side.
Mm.
Cause I got separated. Me and my other little brother got separated from my mother when we was young. So when I had found that out, I had to go back to the city to find out what was going on. I had to go back a couple times. My father died recently when my daughter was born, and my aunt
I'm
died.
so
So,
sorry.
and then my cousin just got killed not too long ago. Working up McCormick in Baltimore, he got stabbed up on camera, and I'm like, oh, I just be like, yeah,
Yeah, my mother told me
like it's a war zone.
it's still hard. They hijacking people cars.
Yeah, man, they remodeling, they trying to rebuild certain
Yeah.
things. Cause I'm from Southeast Baltimore. That's where I was raised at. Cause I was raised at Chapel Hill Projects. Just like that's down there where Douglas Projects, Perkins Projects, where they used to have Flag at and all that. That's the Southeast down there where Broadway and Fells Point at. You know where that's at?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So my people's like my immediate family with my grandmother before she died. That's where we was raised at. But my other side from Poplar Grove and from all different everywhere in Baltimore, Hollandtown, everywhere, Park Heights.
Yeah, that's why my
Like
family.
everywhere. You know what I mean?
I grew up in Park Heights.
Yeah. My older brother Rocky live up Park Heights right now.
How old are you, Jeremiah?
I'm 36.
Oh God, you're just a baby.
Wow.
Yeah, and I went through and I'm still continuously going through so much, especially when it's involving my kid. So, like, the drama don't stop. But see, the thing is, me knowing who I am, me being Aboriginal American Indian to this land, and me knowing the information that I know from what my grandmother told me and what my father told me about my grandfather, because that's on both sides when it comes down to it. Because, like I said, like my great grandmother's Piscataway Indian, that's from Montgomery County, Maryland, and I got all my records. So, like, when it comes down to it, like me having that spiritual connection to the land and me knowing who I am, like that put me in a position where it's that I really can't trip on nothing that I go through, because I know for a fact is when it comes down to my higher power, I don't know about nobody else's. When it comes down to my spirituality, higher power, I'm good.
All
No
right.
matter what I go through.
That's right.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
stay strong. You stay strong. That's
Yeah.
why we here in these
yeah.
YouTubes. I don't know if the Chloe, did you see the argument in Congress with
Oh, that you show, yeah,
that was
funny.
they acting like us, like we do on YouTube.
Yeah,
And that was
was funny.
planned. It was very planned.
Yeah, baby girl. Oh, girl.
Okay. And they want to relate with the community. They
Yeah.
do. So
Eyelashes.
I was laughing at the chair of the banging his little thing on the thing. Hey, he was like, hey. I was laughing so hard.
He wanted to see that cat fight.
And the girl, the representative, what's her name? She said, I'm not apologizing. I was laughing so hard.
Right, that's crazy.
She said, your fake eyelashes. I was like, they so funny. So
they know they gotta spice that
really
type of stuff up.
Yeah,
they know they gotta spice that type of stuff up because they know it's boring.
Yeah,
they know it's boring.
If you're trying to reach these damn millennials and alphas, you better change the game in Congress.
Yeah, like Sister Betty, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like when I be in court, when I'm going through my situations, like I be having them in there rolling, because you already know, like my energy.
I know, you bet you do.
Because I'm not going. I don't play no games. I bring all this information up to them. I bring it up to the judge. The judge like, wow, you actually know that, and I be like, yeah. And I bring up stuff that they be like, he really know what he talking about.
Yeah.
Because the judge told me one time, he was like, is you saying that you Native American? I said, no, I'm not saying I'm Native American. Native American was invented in the 1960s. My people's is Piscataway. I got Ananawea Cherokee. And then they had to pull up the records because they wanted to find out, like, because I had to give them my grandfather name, and then it went through a whole other situations where they wanted to go through the 5 civilized tribes and all that type of stuff. But they already know how the 5 civilized tribes was corrupted anyway. So, I mean, throughout this case, I be tripping these people out because
I bet
I'm
you
bringing
do.
up
I could just
information that these
imagine.
people forgot about.
I could just imagine.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they want to make everything a TV show anyway. I'm gonna put on a show for them. That's
Yeah.
what I mean. Like what I did with Judge Joe Brown. Oh, please believe I'm still waiting for him to come. Cause I didn't
Oh,
wrote
Judge
everything
Joe
down. Now
Brown.
he done gave me so much time. Judge O'Brien gave me so much time to write everything that I'm gonna say about him when it comes down to what I need to say to him. Like, he not gonna come on that girl on those girls' podcasts. I'm
I
telling
like
you.
Judge Joe. I like Judge Joe Brown. Judge Joe Brown is
Yeah, but
comical.
he
Yeah,
running.
I really do.
He running though.
he old
He
school.
running. I've been
Nah,
waiting for
I
him
don't
for
think he's running.
4 weeks
I hope
now.
I
It's
hope he
been
comes back
4
to my
weeks.
channel. I hope he comes back to my channel. I'm gonna go and hit him up on Twitter
He
and
old
see.
school.
Yeah.
I love Joe Brown. I don't care. He's funny.
Yeah, yeah. He
And
funny.
that man is so comical. I love Judge Joe Brown. I don't care what nobody say about him. He's
Mhm.
funny. He's comical. He's a lot of fun. He's the uncle everybody wants.
Mm-hmm.
He's the uncle at the cookout, sitting down, eating, and just talking junk.
Yeah.
He's so
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah.
I do. I really love Judge Joe
He
Brown.
funny. Oh, please
I
believe
love
he is
I love
funny.
Judge Mathis too. Judge Mathis. I love Judge
Yeah, they
Mathis too.
funny.
Judge Mathis is funny. He
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah.
I really like Judge Mathis too.
Hilarious.
He's hilarious. Yeah, I love him.
Jeremiah, tell
It's just, it's just,
sister.
it's just the questions that I just need to get through to him when it comes down to this law system. Just like I was, like my favorite word, that Sibiolita Mortis, meaning black meaning dead in law. Like, I want them to really actually come out and say that, so all people can understand for a fact is
Well,
by
Jeremiah, because of his
categorizing their self is that it actually kills them in law. It
but
makes them
but
dead.
but to keep it a buck, Judge Joe Brown is a former judge, retired, and he does have to be careful with his communications because you know he's a former judge, so that's probably why he won't answer because he's very clear. Like, I'm not your attorney or representing you. He makes that very clear, and so I think of another topic to talk with him about because he is a former
Right.
high profile judge. So there's a lot of things that he just cannot discuss or just probably just decide not to, you know? And because this is social
Mm-hmm.
media this is social media and you know what people do with videos and social
Yep.
media. And not only that, he was running for what, mayor or some position. And you don't want them grabbing these videos and then trying to tarnish him and things
Yep.
like that. So he has to be careful.
Yeah, it's some
But
things.
there's other funny things you could talk about because it's not a secret how Judge Joe responds to anybody. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
who you are.
Mhm.
He's Judge Joe Brown and he's going to respond to you like
Yeah,
Judge
he
Joe
don't care.
Brown. He don't care. Other things, he can talk
Mm-hmm.
about, but I'd say if you're going to have a conversation with him, stay away from the law stuff. That's something you would
Yeah.
talk to.
Yeah, you could talk
Just
private
picture him being your uncle, your real uncle. That's something you would talk to him about at your cookout,
Mm-hmm.
family cookout, not on social media.
Yeah, because there's people that look for that to
Yeah,
try to tear him down.
to start to tarnish his name. So
It's something
yeah,
to say.
Yeah,
but
because
I'm gonna
I
get
ain't
out
gonna
of
lie,
here.
this social media Sister Bessie, I ain't gonna lie, it kind of did get me out of my character because
It
I ain't gonna lie, I
can.
had to go to my people. I had to go to my people's literally, Sister Betty, and ask them. I said, look, do you think that it's cool that I can show some of records? And they was like, why would you want to do that on social media anyway? I'm like, because it's a lot of people that's indoctrinated when it comes down to this information. That's why on Cut Channel, I was trying to show the records, but at the same time is like if I'm using the phone, I can't really people can't really see it out
Right, you
clearly.
can't really do
And
a share
then there's a
screen.
lot of people talking at the same time too. But
Right.
I have my records that back up everything that I say. That's why I don't really gotta talk too much when it comes down to it because I have the records there to prove everything. So when these Pan-African, like not a coincidence and all them, I don't want to say their name because that's crazy. But at the same time is like they don't understand like it's people that have their records that they always been here.
Right.
Correct. Facts. So, hey, there you go. Hey, Bab. What's up, Bab?
Before you
Hey,
leave,
Doodle
Jeremiah,
Butt.
can you tell
Hey,
Sister Bethy about the junkies down Lexington Market? They don't never
oh,
fall, do they?
Oh Lord.
Hey,
That
Bab.
They don't
Hey,
never fall.
Jeremiah.
man.
Look, I said, Jeremiah, I said the next time that I see you, that because I want you to really stay strong because I know you're going through a lot and I want you to stay strong in your mind, in your heart, and in your
Yeah.
soul. And I said, maybe, when you get some time, you could do a 1 day a week show. It's called the Jeremiah Meyer Show. And you're gonna be on the panel all by yourself. I'm gonna be in the chat. So
I've been trying to work on trying to get my own podcast
well,
because
you
I've been
should. You
talking to a
should.
couple ladies
You
down
you
here.
should.
Like,
You should.
yeah, but see, me working and trying to take care of trying to get my daughter back and stuff, it
It's hard.
like
Yeah.
create a certain type of distraction when it comes down to me having a lot of time on my hands because it's a
Well,
lot going on when it comes down to a lot of different things.
well, the door is
So I
open.
mean,
I'm telling
yeah.
you, because I'm getting ready to get off of here. But I'm telling you that I will donate 1 day a week for you to just do the Jeremiah Meyer show. And you're gonna be on the panel all by yourself and you be able to let people on and let people off. Cause and if you
Yeah,
want
I
to do
most
that
definitely
once a
do
week,
it. You already know I'm gonna do it. Especially
so
after getting into it with Hawkeye last night. That man is crazy.
Hawkeye is a hot mess.
That New York mentality. I had
Hawkeye
to
is
put
a
that
hot
New York
mess.
dude in his place. That New York dude, oh my God, he just don't know. Like, cause I'm from the city, so I know how we used to do New York dudes when it came down to the city, and he know, like, they can't come to the city
Hawkeye,
with all that type of talk.
he's a real New Yorker. That's all. I don't pay him no mind.
Yeah,
We get in a little fights, but at the end of the day, I like Hawkeye. He's just a little hot mess. He's just a strict man. That's all. He's harmless. To me, he's
he the New
harmless.
York minute. He the New York minute. That's how they talk
Yeah.
fast. They like hustle you. Yeah, I mean, they couldn't do
Yeah.
that in the city though. That's what I was just trying to break down to them. Like, y'all couldn't hustle us in Baltimore. Like, no, we wasn't going for that. That's all I was trying to tell them.
Yeah, Baltimore's
Like,
another. It hit different in Baltimore.
Yeah. Yes, it do.
And them prisons in
yeah, you
Baltimore is
can't
great.
be from out of town and just think
Their
that you can
prisons,
hustle somebody that's in the city like that.
their prisons in Baltimore is crazy.
And look,
I gotta get out of here, y'all. So
You're
Jeremiah, you already got my email, right?
mm-hmm. Do you
Or
got a
since
new
you
one? Cause I got your old one.
All right, I tell you what. You know how to put your number in the private chat in the back. You know how to do that?
No, I don't really know about this internet that much either. No, I ain't gonna lie, I don't. Would you go to the chat?
No, you see on your phone where it said, "Oh, I don't want you to get lost." So, all right, I tell you what, I'm gonna put my email in the chat, and you email me, honey. I'm gonna put it in there right now for you in the
All
regular
right.
chat, and you send me an email.
So you don't got the Copper Color Chronicles or nothing like that no more?
Oh God, yeah, but that's the business email. I'm giving you my email.
Oh, okay.
Okay, there you go. It's in the chat. My email. See it next to
All right,
right
so
here.
after you get off the live, I can just go back to it and just sing you something.
Right, send me
All right,
something. And
yeah.
then what I'll do, and you send me something, send me your phone number, and you pick any day of the week you want. And I'm just gonna let you have a whole show to yourself. It's gonna be called the Weekly Jeremiah Meyer Show. And
Yeah, I gotta do it because I gotta go to court on the 28th and the 29th of next week. And they trying to make a final decision out of the situation with my daughter. So I actually gotta make sure I stay on top of everything right now because this system is really trying to fight against me with getting my daughter. So it's crazy. It's really
well, I pray
crazy.
that you get her back, and everything goes in your favor. But send me an email because I really do want that Jeremiah Meyer show because I want you to stay strong in your mind, in your heart, and in your soul. Because you a good soul, you a good brother. You really are, and you comical
Yeah.
as hell. You comical. I don't think
Yeah.
you realize how comical you are, but you
Yeah, because you
funny.
gotta laugh through all this craziness that's going on in this world. Like
Yeah,
it's way too
yeah.
much going on. Like I'm telling you,
Yeah.
like, and
You
people don't even
funny.
pay attention to it.
You
For
so
real.
comical.
I'm telling you.
People forget.
Yeah. So now
Mm-hmm.
both of y'all
I
got my
say they forget.
emails.
That's what my uncle
Yeah.
always said.
Both of y'all got my emails. Email me. I'm going to get comfortable because I don't know who the hell live. Bap, you going live again? Because I'm not going on nobody panel. I'm just gonna be in the chat laughing. This is the hour I like to go lay down and watch everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Bap, you going
This
live?
is the hour where I'm about to really get lit right now because I'm about to go back to the store. So whoever
OTK
going
is
live,
going live. I don't know if
what
Bap
time
is
he
going
going
live.
live? Because he
I
be
don't
doing
know.
late.
Yeah,
He be
he
going
do.
live late. I be like,
When he do
golly.
that, it's because he
Like
don't
that.
gotta work. But
I
that's the only time
know.
he do that. Let me see. If he don't go live, OTK is. Let me see. OTK is live. I ain't going on nobody panel.
Who is OT?
Yeah, because OTK actually
Open to knowledge.
not invite nobody for a whole hour. And I'll be like, golly, now it's 10 o'clock. Now it's 11 o'clock. I'm like, it's getting late.
Yeah.
Like, I got this. I try to consume my energy.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I
Hang
got
on, y'all. I'm
wild
gonna
all
call
these
back.
people out.
Yeah. Yeah, he got to go a little earlier.
Yeah, especially if you got wild these Pan Africans out. Like, you need a lot of energy for these people.
Yeah. They got brick right there in the center of their head.
Man. I don't know what they got. I just think a lot of them is on the download. They zesty. I don't know what's wrong with them. I swear to God, I ain't never heard people talk the way that they be talking.
Yeah. They have a fetish, a fantasy about Africa. I don't know what what it is, the obsession. Like Africa is this big land. They act like Africa is just like America, but better. And it's nowhere near
Bap's not going live, y'all.
But
He just
everybody
responded.
already done talked about it. They more like informants and more like agents where they get paid to
Hey,
actually
y'all.
do that. And I really kind of believe it. I
Hang
really
on,
believe
y'all.
that they get paid to do that.
Hey, can y'all
You're
hear me?
right. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
you're
Bap responded. He's not going live. So what I'm gonna do, it's too late. I can't do it. But that I put OTK's link in the chat. He's going live at 8:30. I wanted to do a redirect, but he ain't live yet. So I'm logging off. Okay, hold on. They go back. Hold on.
All right. But I'm telling you, yo, them daggone junkies down Lexington Market don't never fall.
oh yeah.
They
That's
all
always been
on.
like that. They always been in the market too. Them
Right.
police don't even care. They do it right
Nope.
there.
Nope. They just stand there, just watching. Everybody just watch.
I heard they remodeled it though.
Yeah, they did. It's remodeled. I don't live in Baltimore no more. I moved from Baltimore like 4 years ago.
Yeah, I've been gone probably about 6 or 7 years, but I go back and forth. So, cause all my people's in Baltimore, so I gotta go back
Yeah,
regardless of anything.
I'm down South Carolina.
Especially once.
Yeah, I live in South Carolina now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's
I'm in Cambridge, Maryland, so I'm not that far. Like that's why, like I only stayed down here because of my kids. I was going to move back, but at the same time, it's like when I had my 2 kids down here, I was just like, ain't no reason for me to leave because I wouldn't want to play back and forth from all the way there to all the way here. I stay close by my kids.
Right.
So that's why I just decided. And then it's cheaper down here than it is in the city.
Yeah, it is. It is. It
Yeah, way cheaper. I'm talking about way cheaper. Because
yeah.
in the city right now, you need 2 jobs just to get a 1-bedroom apartment.
Woo. They
Yeah,
trying to make it like New York up there.
All right, y'all too.
yeah.
Everybody in the chat, I love y'all. I'm going over to
Oh, you-
OTK channel. He getting ready to go live in like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a 1 day a week Jeremiah Myers show. That way you could, build yourself up until you get ready to want to do your own channel like Smoke. But Smoke be going live late too. But it's random. We
Yeah,
don't
I
even know
know. He
what
said he was
time.
going to go live at night too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm gonna find out. We can find out what time Smoke gonna go live. So I'm be jumping back and forth from Smoke, OTK, whenever they go live. So I love
Yep.
y'all. I'm about to get out of
I'm about
here.
to go back to the store. I'm about to get me some more beer.
There you go. All right. All righty. All right, y'all.
Yep.
Y'all be good. Y'all be good. Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Love y'all.